Okay, so in today's video I'm just going to show you how you can prepare a week's worth of breakfast, lunch and dinner options in a time efficient manner and on a tight budget. So I wanted to make this menu as simple as possible, so I've just made a basic frittata for breakfast, then protein and salad and protein and veggies for lunch and dinner, and I've also added extra carb meals as well where required. So on the next two screens, as you can see, I've got the shopping list, which you can pause and take screenshots off if you want to. And I've also got a copy of the receipt as well, which shows the total spend for the week was $84, including plastic containers. So the average cost over the 21 meals was $4 per meal. So making multiple meals at once can either get out of hand fairly quickly or it can take forever to do. So to prevent both from occurring, you want to do as much of the prep work as possible straight up to make it easy for you later on. So what I've done is I've got a large garbage bag close by to avoid having to clean up a huge mess at the end. So first up, what I'm doing is I'm just boiling water, which I'm going to require shortly, and then I'm going to chop up as much of the vegetables as possible, which I'm going to need later on. So now that I've prepared all the vegetables, I'm now going to boil 500 grams of rice first, and then in a separate saucepan I'm going to boil the vegetables. So while the rice and vegetables are boiling, I'm going to start preparing the beef patties on a fairly low heat, and then I'm going to turn them once they're cooked halfway through. So while the beef patties are cooking, I'm going to prepare the salad in 7 different containers with some of the vegetables that I've already chopped up earlier. So the beef patties are now ready, so I'll put them aside, I'll clean the pan and I'll start cooking the salmon. Again, with the salmon, I'll cook it on a fairly moderate heat with the skin down first, and I'll turn it over when it's cooked halfway through. And while the salmon is cooking, I'll continue to prepare the salad. Okay, so the rice is now done, so I'll put that aside and let that cool, and the veggies are also done, so I'll start placing the veggie portions into containers while the salmon is still cooking. Now the salmon is cooked now, so I'll put that aside and start preparing the chicken. So there was no diced chicken available when I did the shopping, so I had to buy a couple of chicken breasts, and now I'm just going to chop that up. And while the chicken is cooking, I'm going to dish out the rice. So most of the meals are now completed, so I'm going to start preparing the frittatas. So I'm going to make 2 frittatas here, so I'm pouring half of the 500ml container of egg whites into a large bowl and adding 2 whole eggs, which I'll whisk. And I'm also going to add some torn up spinach leaves, and then I'll pour that into the pan where I'll add some chopped capsicum. So that's just for one frittata, so you do the same when you make the second frittata. Okay, so the trickiest part of making a frittata is flipping it. So what I prefer to do is wait until the bottom is cooked, then I cut it into quarters and then flip each quarter individually. So while the frittata is cooking, I'll portion out the meat, chicken and salmon into the containers. And now I've also purchased some small salad dressing containers as well that I've added olive oil and balsamic vinegar to, but you can use whatever formula you like. Okay, so that's this week's prep done. So I also just wanted to mention a few points just on food prep, just both pros and cons. So points for, or pros for food prep, is that you're organised for the week. You don't have to think about what you have to eat for that week. It's already done for you. You don't have to cook it all during the week. It cuts out bad food choices. You can take food to work. You can be specific with calories and macros if you're counting calories and macros, and you also know the ingredients, and it's cost effective. The cons of food prep is it can be fairly repetitive, which I don't necessarily like myself. It's not very flexible. I prefer to be a bit more flexible with my food intake, and also it takes time to prepare. So there you go. That's basically how I've prepared a week's worth of food intake in one go. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you got something out of it, and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. I'm on Nick Hall Body Transformations on YouTube, Nick Hall Body Transformations on Facebook, and the same on Instagram. Okay, thanks very much.